Good morning. It's Monday, April 13th, and we're continuing our series of every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday public information updates done cooperatively by the City of Decatur and the Macon County Health Department to give you, citizens, information about the wide spectrum of how COVID-19 is affecting the Decatur-Macon County community. I want to address an issue that we've heard a little bit about through social media and some rumors, quite frankly, to put to rest that police aren't going to be stopping people on the street or pulling people over who might be going to the grocery store because of the stay-at-home order. I know that there have been some stories of places in other parts of the United States where maybe law enforcement has been a little aggressive, and I want to assure the citizens that that is not the case here in Decatur. Police will enforce the stay-at-home order issued by the governor, but they will do so largely by dispersing large parties that are over 10. We may cite the hosts and turn that over to the state's attorney, but I just want to really clarify that you're not going to be confronted by law enforcement if you're going to the grocery store or you're out jogging with your spouse, unless you've been stopped for something far more serious and they also ask you why you're out. So please know that you have the freedom to do those things. Just practice social distancing and stay in small groups or no groups at all. With regard to what is and is not an essential business, also dictated by the governor's order, we have been responding on that on a complaint basis. In other words, the police department are not out roaming the streets of Decatur looking for businesses that shouldn't be open. We have far more important things for the police department to be doing right now. But when we get a complaint, we respond to that complaint. And when we reach that business, we will tell them that they are not covered if they are not doing an essential service under the governor's order. We'll inform them of that. If they have questions, the State Department of Economic Opportunity has a hotline number where you can call and they give advice on what is and is not covered by the governor's order. In a small number of cases that might be in the gray area of what is truly an essential service, the state has given discretion back to the City of Decatur to decide if there is really an argument to be made about an essential service. And so we do have some discretion in that area, but most of them I will tell you that most of the ones that the police have encountered have been fairly clear. For example, some vaping business that thinks they should stay open because they're really a convenience store because they sell potato chips or something like that. I mean, that just doesn't pass muster and doesn't comply with the intent of the governor's order. But there are a few other businesses that might be considered essential, maybe given the unique nature of what they do in the community, and we have a way for dealing with that. But that's how we're handling what is and is not considered an essential service. It's been reported in the media within the last couple of days that of the total number of 35 cases, reported positive cases of COVID in our community, 25 of them are coming from the Fairhaven facility in South Shores. So people need to know that if you've had any contact with the staff or with other people that may have come and gone from Fairhaven, to take the appropriate action, to be careful and be cognizant of your symptoms. We encourage masks when you're out and about. The governor has made a recommendation for masks. He has not made it a mandatory order, and we have no expectation that he will, but it's just good common sense to wear a mask if you're out or to have one available when you're dealing with people. And we have particularly been aware that having masks on our public transit is a good idea. And so all of our buses have a sign on them that says we recommend that you use a mask. And beginning the 20th of April, 1 week from today, it'll be mandatory. Now, you don't have to have one of those fancy N95 or a surgical mask. Just an old scarf is fine. Just something to cover your nose and mouth when you're on the bus and when you're out in public. Finally, I want to mention that those who are in business, small business, who have been the most adversely affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, to access our website or the website of the Economic Development Council. There's a lot of resources there about how the CARES Act works and how the Paycheck Protection Program works, and some of the other small business programs, both in terms of grants and loans and forgivable loans, available to small businesses, especially those that keep their employees on the payroll so that we can get through this pandemic. So if you're one of those small businesses that's been affected, then I encourage you to go to some of those websites and get additional information. Thank you, community of Decatur, for all that you do. We're in this together, and together we'll get through.
Hi everyone, it's Bethany at the Macon County Health Department. I just wanted to give you guys some tips of talking to kids about COVID-19. I think these are important things though that all of us need to remember sometimes or can be reminded of. So when you try to talk to your kids about COVID-19, make sure that you remain calm and you reassure them. Also make sure that you're available to listen and to talk to them. Make sure that your kids know that they can come to you if they have any questions. Also make sure that you're not making any assumptions about who might have COVID-19 because, as we've said before, anyone can become sick with COVID-19. Also pay attention to what your kids might see or hear on TV or on the radio or online because, as we know, too much information about any one topic can lead to anxiety for all of us. Also, be sure to provide them information that is honest and accurate. We want to make sure that we're giving our children information that's truthful and appropriate for their age and their developmental level. So be sure that, to share with them that they could find information on the internet or social media that might be based on rumors and inaccurate information. Also, those everyday actions that we've been talking about that we can do, also it's important to share those with your kids. So remind them to stay away from people who might be coughing or sneezing or who might be sick. We can also teach them about social distancing and remaining that 6 feet away from others. Remind them to cough or sneeze into a tissue or their elbow and then throw the tissue into the trash and immediately wash their hands. Make sure that they also have good hand hygiene, that they have good hand washing habits. So teaching them to wash their hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, especially after, blowing their nose or coughing or sneezing, going to the bathroom, before eating or preparing food. If they've been out playing in the yard, make sure that they're washing their hands when they come in. All those things. And if they're young children, make sure that you supervise them to make sure that they are doing it appropriately. So hopefully these are just some topics that you can remember to talk to your kids about and help you as you try to discuss COVID-19 with them. And we hope that you're all doing what you can and staying healthy and staying safe. Thanks so much.